we are going to be reading Dragonology. Not sure if you are familiar with this book. I read this when I was a kid, and I really loved it, and I hope you enjoy it too. Yeah, I'm really excited because they're just so tactile. They have pop-outs and things you can feel. So I wanted to show these off to you today. So first of all, we have the iconic Dragonology. And it has this really pretty design. It's nice. And then on the back, we have no doubt, but there is none other best comparable to the mighty dragon in awesome power and majesty, and few so worthy of the diligent studies of wise men. Gildus Magnus Ars Draconius 1465. So it has its own little lore and little world built into it. So, firstly, get situated here. Sure, I have a good angle. Dr. Ernest Drake's Dragonology, the complete book of dragons. Here we have a spell to catch a dragon. Take a mirror and sprinkle it with dragon dust. Then place a sapphire or other treasure outside the dragon's lair. Then the dragon emerges to investigate the gemstone. Quickly, bring out the mirror so that the dragon sees its own reflection. Cry, Asi Nariso Dragonos Asractive. The spell will tame the dragon, but watch out when it wears off. For a small sample of dragon dust, see Appendix 2. The farthest west I have found Dorksin, the ruins of Elaine Donan, Scotland. We have a library card of Dr. Ernest Drake here. Let's see, I don't think you can take this out, but we can open this letter. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. Oh, that's nice. Just kind of what it looks like. It's scrawled. You can read it to you. Okay. We have Dr. Ernest Drake, St. Leonard's Forest, Horsham, April 1904. To whom it may concern, Dragonology is the proper study of the dragonologists or student of dragon lore. Since the occasion when Merlin found two mighty dragons fighting each other beneath the castle of King Vortigern, I was it correctly, Dragonology has been the study of magicians and students of the arcane. Knowledge of dragons has been passed down over the years, their history, their different types, the true sightings of dragons, where they might be found. Here they may be tamed or slain, and how and why the students may learn to use them, and their various parts to his advantage. Perhaps the most important thing is why such knowledge should never be used against them, and above all, that dragons, like so much of the flora and fauna of this fleeting world of ours, are rare indeed, and would be a shame to see them disappear forever. So I have set this knowledge down, student dragonologist, not that you might seek out and destroy the few dragons that remain, but that you might learn about them, and indeed help them to stay concealed. The wise learn much, see much, know much, but disturb little. I have lived long among dragons, but my life is almost over, and my final accomplishment as a dragon master is to pass on this knowledge to someone worthy of its keeping. Ernest Drake. Very nice. So, Dr. Ernest Drake has left us his book. So let's go ahead and see what we can find. Here we have a map of the dragons. Dragons of the world. Dragonology. Classification of dragons by habitat. We have forest, knuckler, and marsupial dragons. The prairie and steppe, amphitheater, I don't know. Lindworm dragon, the wyvern dragon is in the desert. The Arctic frost dragon. In the mountains we have the European dragon, the Asian dragon, the Tibetan dragon, and in the jungle we have the Mex-Amphitheater dragon. Given that dragons can fly, colonizing the earth has been easy for them. As a result, any dragon species may well be found in any region with the right habitat. European dragons, for example, have been known to inhabit remote areas of North America. Oh, it says, here we have an ad that says, don't get burned when you buy a hat. The latest thing, get Dr. Drake's heat-proof flame-away hat. Heat-tested 1,000 degrees for $15. $15. And we have a pop out here of the Tibetan mountains, where the dragons of the mountains could be found. We also have a temple in China, where some other dragons could be found. In Australia, where the Blue Mountains, and then we have on the map here different types of dragons in different types of regions of the world. Dragons are indigenous to almost all parts of the world, so the student will never be faced with having to move thousands of miles to study them. Oh, it teaches you even the famous Draco dragon whistle. Simply blow through the mouthpiece and the model dragon coughs. How to tell the difference between sea serpents and dragons. Serpents do not breathe fire. I don't know if you can see this. Cannot fly, are found in sea, do not hoard treasure. Here's some other illustrations. Look how beautiful this is. Look at these drawings. Different species of dragon. This one is the Western dragon. We also have specimen frost dragon juvenile, 24 years, scales. Pink shimmery scales, juvenile frost dragon. And here's a frost dragon down here. And a western dragon. Prominent features of European dragons: an arrowhead tail that we have here, thick spines, large bat-like wings, clawed talons, scales, horns, fanged teeth, eyes providing a truly phenomenal sense of sight. Here is a knuckler dragon, found in damp woodland locations near food sources such as rabbit warrens. Look how beautiful. We also have shiny blue scales here. You can see it reflecting. We have shed skin from Asian long, 250 years. Here we have an Asian Chinese long dragon. See, we have prominent features of Chinese long whiskery feelers, stag-like horns, a mane, 5 toes on each claw. 1, 2, 5. Egg, usually carried in a foreclaw. Large scales, and that we see here too, reflected. Feathery tail. Feathery tail. Here's the difference between the Japanese long and the Chinese imperial long. We have the 5 toes and the 4 toes. Here we have the difference between the Tibetan dragon and the lindworm. Some species of long lay their eggs in running water. Long are most often found near rivers, streams, and lakes. They're underwater layers. Females carry their eggs with them to safety, using the layers store the pearls and opals they hoard away. They mainly eat birds and fish and roasted swan. They usually have the power over rainfall and storms. It is likely that the 4 legendary Chinese dragon kings were highly impressive specimens. Here we have our marsupial dragon, xylem membrane. This musty mustard color with a rough-like texture. Xylem membrane for 45 years. Here we have phoenix. Phoenix. Wyvern. Unlike most other dragons, the wyvern only has 2 legs. However, being the largest form of dragon, it finds these perfectly sufficient for carrying off its elephant prey. Lay or nest, a rocky crag, or occasionally a circular nest in an area of sand dunes or grass. They can get up to 50 feet long and 18 feet high. Wyvern. Imagine it carrying off an elephant to feed on. Trying to find where it has the phoenix helped people understand Darwin's origin of the species. In reality, these fossils belong to a primitive form of the phoenix, a bird that uses highly effective fire bath in order to rid itself of parasites. So here we have a marsupial. Marsupial. It is interesting to note that marsupial dragons are found not only in Australia, but also in the Patagonia region of South America, half a world away. There are a number of other marsupial creatures that have been discovered. Here we have an amphitheater, I don't know how to pronounce that. Amphitheatra. Amphitheatre. In addition to well-known Mexican feathered amphitheatra, there's a furry North American variety that primarily hunts buffalo and has sometimes been mistaken for a gigantic moth. Look at that. That's so cool. Yeah. The natural history of dragons, dragon biology, and psychology. Most species of dragons are reptilian, and many features of this animal type of such egg laying, although they also care for their young. They are unusual in that they are the only creatures that can speak with meaning apart from animals. However, not all dragons have managed this feat. It seems likely that it is on the older, more experienced dragons that have developed this skill. Interesting. So we have somewhat of a map of the body of the dragon. We have the eye, the fang, the nostril, horn and ear and jaw and tongue. We also have its wings, large bat-like wings. Pop quiz, which one has large bat-like wings? Which dragon? And the thick spines, the horns. It's giving it away, but the European dragon. Here we can see it flying off. Look at the wings, the scales, and the claws. Here we have more of the muscle structure of the dragon. The muscle structure of the dragon is similar to that of a large lizard, with certain features that are more common to birds. The large muscles at the base of the wings are needed so that the dragon is able to gain enough force to fly. However, there is no consensus on how dragons actually are able to fly, as they do not share the chief aerodynamic features of birds, namely their lightness. We also have the skeletal structure. The skeletal structure of the dragon is largely similar to that of other vertebrates. The interesting difference are those concerning the European dragon, having both 2 wings and 4 legs. Unlike birds, the dragon has no large furcula, wishbone, upon which the powerful flight muscles can be attached. Instead, a note may be added here about the current mania for paleontology. Let's see. We also have a site of the skull, and here is the spark pouch. Like teeth, Most reptiles, a dragon's teeth, are constantly replaced by new ones as the old ones wear away through the age in use. Interesting. You can also see the difference in between the different types of dragon skulls. Oh, a dragon can spot a valuable gem from 6,000 feet. Interesting. We have more about their eggs. The natural history of dragons, the life cycle. The first stage, the embryo. We have the different types of eggs on the side. The knucker egg, frost egg, wyvern egg. We have a good look inside the embryo as well. And we get to watch it grow through the life cycles. Maybe. Until it's ready to burst out. The discarded egg is born. At birth, the tail differences between male and female chicks are evident. Given adequate food supply, a 40 to 50 acre farm with a head of 300 cows should be enough for one chick. That's crazy. We have the female dragon and a male dragon. You can somewhat tell the difference. The horns are a bit more developed on the male. Let's see, an average lifespan, we have humans live to 70 years old. And then, the Chinese dragons are unknown. European dragons live up to 300 years old. We have dragon script here, which looks to be just some runes. The Chinese believe the secrets of writing were gifted to Emperor Fu His by a dragon from the Yellow River. Perhaps the origins of our alphabet, too, lie in ancient Futhrock runes that deck the walls of hidden caves with the tops of knucker holes scratched out by the dragons themselves. And it has some translations here. Hoarding behavior. The hoarding behavior of dragons most likely evolved because dragons have soft, unarmored Achilles spot on their bellies. When they lie on treasures, some jewels stick, providing them with protection in one valuable, vulnerable area, as we have here. The dragons who evolved this hoarding behavior were the ones who survived. The ones who did not are no longer with us. We have some dragons and their jewels. Hoarding behavior. Like tigers. Weak or old dragons who cannot hunt their usual prey may become man or rather maiden eaters. This is because maidens are most likely to wear jewelry containing favorite dragon gems. Interesting. Finding and tracking dragons. Where to look for dragons? Referencing the map, one may be in a position to determine what sort of terrain each type of dragon is most likely found. Encourage dragon to the cave mouth with an offering a suitable gift. Remember that dragons cannot be easily fooled. Telltale signs of dragon activity. Footprints and tail swishing marks. Burned and scorched trees and undergrowth. Small depleted looking flocks of sheep. Frightened villagers with excitable children. A tendency for the locals to eschew jewelry. Local legends about dragon activity. A local hotel or hostelry with a reputation for eccentric visitors. Here we have a record book. Dragonologist's personal record book. We have details and observations about European dragons, knucklers, African xyloverns, the one that got away. Interesting. We also have different types of footprints, or I guess claw markings, of the different dragons. You may even get a lung to eat right out of your hands. That's interesting. Switch sides. Okay. Working with dragons, taming and flying dragons. Keep a firm hold on the reins. This will not harm the dragon. Dragons fly higher altitudes than most humans can tolerate. Taming dragons. While there are various methods of taming dragons, they all have merely temporary effect on those that were not raised from the egg. Remember, it is possible that a dragon will be angry on recovering from taming, especially if it is embarrassed or compromised in any way. Some flying techniques. A looping maneuver is possible if enough speed is achieved. A happy dragon is a dragon that loops. We have some riddles and puzzles. Befriending a dragon. It is far better to befriend dragons rather than tame them. As they love to hoard, the offer of treasure will at least encourage the ones who speak to give you a hearing. But especially beware of taking advice of dragons at face value, as they are completely wily. Above all, dragons who can speak seem to love riddles, word games, and traditionally any human who could outwit them in a riddle contest has gained their respect. So we have a few riddles and puzzles for the dragons if you need them. These are quite long. The answers are on the back but flipped. Here we have the appendix. A dragonological laboratory. Here we have dragon dung, dragon scales, feathers, dragon blood. It can promote health and regeneration and can be used to effectively heal most wounds. In larger doses, dragon's blood is dangerous, but it can have a potent effect on the brain, particularly the area that controls language acquisition. We have dragon teeth. Let's see, microscope. To avoid picking up the wrong ingredients, remember to label all your specimens very clearly. We have preparing dragon hide. Newfangled approach. Dragon bones. Incredibly strong, yet light. Dragon bones can be used to make shelters in much the same way as some Inuits built shelters of whale bones. Here we have some dragon dust collected in 1869. If you need it. Dragon's eye. Like the alchemists of old, whose highest aim was to seek out the philosopher's stone, capable of transforming base metals into gold, Dragonologists sought the mystical dragon's eye for centuries. It is the only sure means to determine those dragonologists who, by reason of their innate wisdom, aficionates with dragons, may become true dragon masters. We have another appendix. We have useful spells and charms. Yes, more dragon dust, and it says, do not eat, in case you were curious. Let's see, hallway invisibility spell. Abramelon's taming spell. Here's the invisible spell. Dr. D's dragon summonation. Edmund Guyfoon's cooling spell. We have a talisman here. The talisman of Master Merlin. An aside on matters magical, we should refer to the talisman of Master Merlin. The image here is copied from the Ars Draconius penned by the monk Gildas Magnus in 1465, which was who was quoted on the back, if we remember. According to Emrys, the talisman is kept by a dragon that will lend it in exchange for answering a lost riddle. In the rune booklet, you can see a fragment of this lost riddle from Diana's Emrys. What follows are the probably warbled words of the talisman spell. And here we have the talisman spell. Repeat this verse 8 times, holding the talisman aloft, and at the ninth a dragon will appear, bow low as she approaches. When it is accepted, you may ask her to perform any one action that lies in her power, and it will be done. She will now become the keeper of the talisman. Let's see, there's warnings too. Of course, with any magic, there's warnings. As with all these appendices, I make no recommendations that they be tried. As a result, they should be certain and the ingredients hard to obtain. Magic is an attractive study, to be sure, but a truly modern dragonologist is only attractive as it is true, rather than imagined. Cause and effects may be studied under the aegis of science. There's a little letter here. Let's see, while some dragons can read, they do not have the ability to open secret envelopes. Keep the rune spell safe. Let's see. It does look like runes. But here's the rune spell to all you dragons watching. Appendix number 3. See, Dragonologists and Dragon Slayers. Unstudied, it is useful to understand little about who have gone before. This is partly because, given haughty modern skepticism, blah 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 blah. We have a bit on Merlin. Merlin is considered the founding father of Western Dragonology. We also have a bit on Edward Topsell, an early English naturalist, included a detailed section on dragons in his scholarly history of four-footed beasts. Marco Polo is on here, an Italian travel, studied dragons en route to China. We have George of Cappadocia, was a dragon slayer who became confused with a Christian saint. Interesting. Beowulf, of course, the famous Danish king who was forced to become a dragon slayer when a local dragon was aroused to fury by the theft of a cup of its hoard. We have Fuhishi, the first recorded dragonologist. Look at that dragon's eye. Let's see. Be above all prepared. At all times be silent about your work. At all times be secret and subtle. Do not discuss dragons with people who do not believe in them, or with those who merely seek to amuse themselves. Probably shouldn't be recording this then. Work only with those who share your passion. Learn what you can from all of the other sciences. Cherish all animals. Then one day the world may at last learn to accept the honorable science of dragonology. And last, only a few become master dragonologists. Such are reflected in the mystical dragon's eye. Their task is to conserve and protect those few dragons that remain. For who knows how many shall last another century, with the human population growing at such an exponential rate. And with them, how many more of Earth's creatures will become extinct until people start to say they never existed at all, except in our imaginations. The end. I know I kind of skimmed a bit in this book. If you would like me to do a more detailed version, let me know. I still have the Ghostology book that I'll do next. And maybe next time, if you want me to, I can do a different type of angle. That way you can see more of the book, unless you enjoy me holding up and showing it to you, which I can also do that too. But if you would like me to read more of this on a more detailed level, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this. I really love these books. And I loved them as a kid. And they still, are dear to me and resonate with me in a way that a lot of books haven't before.